So we got up mostly on time this morning. I was about half an hour late, but I think honestly that's just my wake up time. But we're in the roofing truck. We got the trailer in the back. We're going to a job by the airport in Westlock. And going to rip a roof, I guess. So I was absolutely pissed this morning. I didn't want to go to bed. I didn't want to go to this job. Because roofing fucking sucks if you've ever done it. If you've ever done roofing, you know it fucking sucks. So I'm going to rip a roof today. We're going to do that. I guess we got to think a little bit about what I want to do and then go from there. So we're on the way. So we're at the job. Doesn't look too bad, to be honest. We're crushing a sandwich before we rip this roof. I gotta wait for Tyler. And then we are going to back up to the roof and get started. So, got part of it ripped.
Don't figure anything out by the window, let's go camp together. We're gonna take camp together. That'll be the way.
So we got most of the roof ripped. Well, I would say probably half actually, to be honest. But I don't know, working has been kind of like a wake-up call for me because I'm sort of a naturally lazy person, and I think that's good in a way because you find the most efficient way to do everything. But the last few days have been really slow and kind of a mess, to be honest. So this is a really good wake-up call. But we been thinking about a few ideas for stage 2 and what I'm going to do for a store. I might go with e-commerce instead because then I don't have to deal with issues with payment and stuff. I'll probably talk about later, but that's really the plan. So everything's a plan. It's a process. Too eager to load bundles.
Starting since the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, since the beginning of I've been a young adult. It's still the same place.
Yeah. It's raining a bit. So it's raining a bit, but gotta finish off this roof, gonna rip a little bit more, probably nail, and then, yeah, I don't know, when I go home I'm probably gonna keep DMing, even though I said I was kind of gonna axe the outreach thing, but to be honest, this is a real good wake-up call for me. I fucking hate roofing, so we're gonna keep sending messages. I think voice messages are gonna be the most effective. Like influencers or businesses that probably gonna aim for the gym niche. I think that's gonna be really, I have a few, it's easier to provide services for, workouts, personal training. It's really good to niche down into something like that. So we're gonna try doing a bit more of that after work. Honestly, I'm gonna try and aim for something like 50 a day, just as a target. I think that's doable. I like to set my targets extra high for everything I do because it's something for me to work towards, and usually I end up getting fairly close, but that's a good thing to do, right? So send some messages. I'm trying to decide between approaching approaching gym businesses and pushing an app for fitness, workouts, personal training, all that kind of stuff, because it's something niche that I enjoy doing. It's something that has multiple different aspects that I can incorporate it into an app, where a normal business, you can add like info stuff, but there's not something definitive besides products. And now with a gym, you have workouts, you have personal training, you have messaging, you have events. It's a much more community-based business, and I don't know what the word is, but so that's one way we could go. The other way we could go is approaching like content creators and that have video courses or product service to sell. So I don't know, a little bit of thinking for what I'm gonna do tonight. So then tomorrow we're gonna go work hauling shit, I think, driving shit truck. Yeah. So I think 50 is a really good target, because then we still have time to work on stage 2, which I think I'm gonna go with e-commerce now. Partially because the digital product, I don't know, you gotta build an app, you gotta have a lot more subscriptions. It's hard to start subscriptions without a free trial for customers. So that's gonna really delay my process for reinvesting money that I make. Whereas an e-commerce store, I'll be paid out every day, so I can put that directly back into ads. So that's sort of what we're thinking so far. Yeah. So I hope you guys can see how indecision really kills progress. Obviously in the last few days, I wasn't super happy with the videos, but it is what it is. You gotta work things out, and I had a really big mental block. It was just kind of chaos for me, but sometimes that's how it is, right? Sometimes you just gotta take a little bit to think, and it'll benefit you in the long run. So think of that time as like an investment towards your future. So this is kind of more so solidified. I hope you can hear me, but job, outreach, 50 a day. What's even better than voice messages is video messages. So we can do voice messages for the rest of the messages, but the first one's gonna be like a video. I set the camera up somewhere, talk about their service and how I can talk about their product or service and how I can build it into an app or some way that'll make them more money. You get the drift, right? But messaging, outreach, their job, outreach. And then stage 2 is an e-commerce store, which I'll tell you more about later, but it's going to be wristbands, I believe. I may or may not order stock in. I already have them designed. It's kind of a project that I started in the past, which I don't think really is cheating, because I could recreate it in less than a day. So the reality is that if you're good at design and good at creating Shopify stores, you can get done what I got done in less than a day. So I think it's, what I have still needs to be changed up a little bit. For all of you people hauling heavy loads, how's that for a strap job? Decent day on the roof. I'm a little bit dirty, as you can tell. Heading back to the farm. So we're definitely going to start with some video messages. Hopefully I'm still in a decent mood and wanting to create a lot of videos, because I'm going to be split testing testing two things. So I know video, the only thing that might not work very well with video is if it's a brand new DM, it might not show up as a video, it might be like hidden, if you're getting what I'm saying. So I gotta see if it's gonna be hidden or not. If it is, it might be better just to send voice messages. And if it isn't hidden, then we're gonna send video messages as just an opener, and then everything after that will be voice messages if possible. I think that's gonna be the best way to communicate. Obviously you gotta play it by conversation, but so what we're gonna be split testing is between gym owners and content creators, because content creators are a little bit better, they're easier to communicate with, they're probably a little bit more flexible with their schedule because they have more time, they're more reasonable when it comes to a lot of things because they have less things on their mind, and I think overall would be better. But I think businesses would be better because most businesses have a large budget. You know, you're not going to have to worry about creators not having a lot of money. Businesses, most gyms will provide the same services, so I'll have a good idea of what I can provide in terms of an app. Business owners will also I guess the biggest thing is business owners are more likely to have money and be willing to spend money, because a business is pretty much a collection of people that provide a product or service to make money with the purpose of making a profit, aside from non-profits. So whereas a creator might be doing it out of passion. But we're after the money. Ultimately, our business is also after money, so we need them to have money and want to spend money. But end of the day, those are my two main, I don't really like the dealership niche, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot of rude people, and it's more of a much less cultured, that's the thing about gym, I think I said this earlier, but it's more cultured and community-based niche. And I can't think of anything more tightly woven than the gym. And this is kind of important to me because I think more of a personal connection with whoever I'm doing business with is always going to be better. Plus, it's just something that I also enjoy myself. You know what I mean? The only other thing would be dealerships, but I've done dealerships in the past. I called just about every dealership in Alberta. I just haven't had a lot of success. Actually, that's a really bad excuse because I could call them again. They probably wouldn't even remember me, but try gyms. Gyms, there's an abundance of gyms, and it's also one of those things that most gyms are going to make money because there's a demand. It's an essential, fitness is an essential service in a sense. So I don't know if it's 80 here or 100. Westland is fucking weird speed zones. So we're gonna split test between the two. I'm gonna do 25 video outreach to one or the other, and then if I'm feeling real ambitious, I'm gonna do 50 of each if I get to that point and want to do so. And then stage 2, like I said, e-commerce. We're going to refine what I already have as a store for this wristband company. I don't know if I want to tell you guys what it is yet, because all it takes is one person to comment on a post or whatever of this business, and then word spreads and people watch these videos and think I'm just in it for the money, then I get no sales. So there's just a whole bunch of different things, and that's why confidentiality is so important when it comes to business sales and certain aspects of business in general. Is disruption. People want to avoid as many problems as possible, so probably just gonna show you guys stuff without the names, at least until the challenge is over. like show you what I'm doing and how to build it and all that fun stuff. So that's what we're doing tonight. I know I tend to say, oh, this is the plan a lot, but you know, that's what I'm doing. I'm documenting what I'm doing, what I plan to do, and how I do it. And I know you've probably noticed the last few videos, honestly, I've been super unsatisfied with. Obviously, it's been a bit of a mess for me, and it's also been, you know, I've been sick and the quality of the videos hasn't been the greatest, but that's life, you know. I'm trying to show as much as possible in these kind of videos because I want to keep it as raw and personal and unedited as possible. But so that's what you're gonna get, right? But WPM building is, honestly, I would get a job there, but never mind, I'm not going to talk shit about the company in my videos, but you could probably guess the reason I don't want to work there. Fun fact, I actually got a job offer, but they were offering me $1 above minimum wage to be a lead technician working on sleds and dirt bikes and stuff. You know, I appreciate the opportunity, obviously, but I know that fast food workers are worth more than that. So indecision kills progression. You've seen this. You know, I guess you kind of have to appreciate the time you put into your thoughts, because the more you think about things, it's almost an investment into your future. You know, when you spend a bit of time thinking about structure and processes and refinement, because ultimately you're improving whatever it is, you know, your overall conversion rate or response rate or sales. All these things are super important, and a big part of business is optimizing things. But I guess the biggest thing is to pick a few main ideas and stick with them. Don't go from an e-commerce store to consulting and to I don't even know, swimming lessons. Just don't switch around. Refining is okay, but you got to remember that action will beat perfection every time. Execution over perfection as well. You know, if you make 100 semi-wrong moves, you're gonna get a lot farther than one right move, like one perfected move. So I'm a little bit ambitious about sending messages tonight, because I've actually been getting quite a few responses to what I already said, and a lot of them have brought up the fact that they don't know me and there's not enough trust. So I think sending a video will build a lot of trust, and it's a lot more effort than typing something out for me, so they're a lot more likely to respond. It's just sort of a psychology thing, I think, and I think it's doable, honestly. You know, how many people have I reached out in total on Instagram to the few days before I left for my trip? Maybe 40 or 50, and I got probably 4 or 5 responses from large companies. I actually have one that I should follow up with. I'm kind of upset with the guy because I brought up the thing about the app. He's like, yeah, send me a proposal. And anybody in marketing knows that you don't just send proposals without a meeting. It's like taking your car to a dealership and not knowing what's wrong with it and expecting them to fix it without symptoms. I don't fucking know. You get the point, though. Like, you need to consult with people first. Just figure out what people want and all the details. So I told him, I'm like, I don't send proposals. Let's set up a meeting if you guys are interested. Because he's, yeah, shoot me a text. We'll set up a call. So obviously you meant a phone call, and typically, you know, you're not going to sell over phone call 99% of the time. So I'm probably going to text them and be like, hey, you know, that we need to do this meeting face to face. I don't know, some people sell over the phone, but at the same time, if I want to show them something, it builds a lot more trust when you do it over a meeting. So, you know, people can just hang up the phone, they can walk away, all kinds of stuff. So I think as a general rule, always do your meetings as Zoom meetings or video calls. And this isn't something that I've just come up with. It's something that should be held as a standard in a lot of consulting practices. So anyways, that's a rough summary of my thoughts from the day. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for workouts. If I want to, because I feel like just doing push-ups is not super I don't know, it works your back a little bit, I guess. Chest is what I need, abs is what I need. I mainly focus on chest and abs in case you guys are wondering, but I hate isolating workouts because then things end up not perfect. You gotta kind of work your whole body. But maybe I'll stick with that just for simplicity. It's not gonna be for long until I make a bit of money and start going to the gym. So just something to lose a bit of weight and keep muscle on. Hopefully I don't lose too much muscle in other areas if I'm not working. Because really I have nowhere to set up a pull-up bar. I mean, we can go to a tree, but I think that's a little bit overkill. I don't have any horizontal trees. And if you have some horizontal trees, let me know. Because I'll come do pull-ups on them, I guess. And I don't have weights. My dad had weights somewhere, but there's grungy in some fucking granary shed somewhere. So push-ups for now, I think. I don't know if I'm going to do them tonight because I had to leave to work at sometime around 5. So I was up I had to leave super early. I didn't have time for a workout. So I might do a workout tonight. No, honestly, just thinking about it, I would do it just to do it, but I don't think that's what you should live by in life. You should take things with context and make decisions based on the circumstances at hand. And my legs are absolutely beat from walking around on the roof and walking around all day. And so is my upper body. So I'm just going to have a shower. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. We're going to edit the video. And probably not going to do workout until tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, I have to go almost all the way back to Whitecourt or Marathorpe area. Drive some shit truck. Spread manure, I guess. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Yeah, man. That's, I think that's it. Unpopular opinion on managing money. Spend everything you have. Spend everything you have within like 6 months of living expenses, unless you really want to take a risk. Then spend more, obviously, but spend it on investments, not, what's the proper term? Not investments, depreciating assets. Don't buy a car, don't buy a fucking new phone because the Apple event was yesterday and you want the new iPhone. Put that money into a business, put it into ads, put it into sample products. Are my eyes actually that red, or is that fucking just the glare? I just got like shingle dust in my eye. Anyways, spend all your money, because if your money isn't working for you in a business or an investment, your money is just losing value in the bank. when you really think about it, the bank gives you what in a savings account gives you 0.05%, something like that, interest on your money. So unless you have a ton of money in the bank, your fees probably outweigh what you're making on interest. Plus, you got to factor in inflation. If you put $100 in the bank and let it sit for 20 years, that $100 is probably going to be worth 50 just because of inflation and the value of money. So if the majority of your money isn't working for you, whether that's an investment, real estate, property, well, that's the same thing, I guess. Ads, sample products, some contribution to a business or a store, employees, I guess, more labor. If you have a large business that requires employees and physical labor, you get the point. But I think it should be more of a popular opinion, to be honest. The old school teachings has been to save your money, to save, put it in a savings account to get that 0. Maybe like 1% interest at best. Like, I don't know, most credit cards, credit is really, they give you lots of benefits, but I don't even think, there's not many cards that go over 5% cash back. Usually it's below 1%, unless you really search for really good credit cards. But the point is, you got to spend your money, because if your money's not working for you, it's working for somebody else, and that might not be a specific person. Maybe it's the entire world, because your money is depreciating and feeding the economy through inflation, because everybody else's value of money is going up, but you're still holding the same balance in the bank. I think that made sense. Probably not in the right words, but I changed my mind. Honestly, it's just about 9 o'clock. So we're gonna go through how to set up and create a Shopify store, online e-commerce store, to sell physical and digital products. The necessary steps, what you need to get to a point where you are able to sell confidently and you have everything set up and ready to go that you need. So we're gonna go through that. I know I said I was gonna do messages, but I changed my mind. We're gonna do it in the morning. So I'm gonna work out, probably, depending on what time I have to go to work. I'm gonna work out, run, and then do my messages. So that'll be making 50 to 100 videos, sending it to, split testing between creators and gyms. Oh, Jesus. We're good. And that's mainly because I'm just running out of time, to be honest, and my schedule is more important than sticking to exactly what I said. Because, to be honest, sending at 10 p.m. at night and at like 6 a.m. in the morning really has no difference in terms of the time somebody's going to read the message, because it's very likely going to be in the morning anyway. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to send in the morning, and then if that works out somewhat well and I don't have any other plans, we're going to do the same thing then tomorrow night. So sending however many more messages. Or actually, I don't think we will, because I don't want to push Instagram's limits when it comes to messaging. Because if you do get a ban and you get like message block, whatever they call it, it can be up to like 7 days, which is ultimately really shitty because you can't send messages at all. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go through a little bit of Shopify stuff, talk about branding. Actually, I can't show you too much of the branding because I told you I was gonna keep this kind of like confidential. Jesus. You can't really see my tan, but my arms are dark. I have a bad farmer's tan. It's almost darker than my other shirt, the tan colored one. I don't know what the color is actually called. Look on the Cuts website. Also, promo. I don't know if Cuts is gonna be watching this in 105 days, but if you see this video, sponsor me. All I wear is Cuts because they're the best shirts on the planet. So sorry, someone interrupted me. So it's kind of set in stone that we're going to be doing e-commerce now. Probably a physical product, but if you have an idea for physical product, usually it's better to start with because one, it's a lot easier to sell something tangible than it is digital. So if you have a digital product, it's a lot harder to sell. It takes a lot more marketing. And the thing with a physical product is you can just pre-sell it, right? So pre-selling is going to be a little bit harder as well because you don't have the trust and authenticity that you would have by making videos and photos of the real product, which is tough, but it's still not as bad as a digital product in my opinion. Pre-selling physical products still sells a lot easier. The only other downside to pre-selling physical products is you don't have product images or videos. So the best thing that you can do is either get samples, which, you know, if you're ordering large stock, it's gonna cost a lot of money. So like 1,000 pieces is gonna be obviously a little bit more than $1,000 for what I'm doing. So you can order samples, which are a lot cheaper, like $20 plus shipping, whatever it is, depending on how many you get. You can make videos with the samples. But honestly, I think someone's best bet, if you can't order in a ton of stock, is just to advertise with mock-ups. So depending on your style and what you want to do, you could have an image of the mock-up on your laptop open and then make a TikTok video of the design saying, hey, these are the best, whatever the product is, of 2022. I mean, that's just one example of how you could advertise your mock-ups, right? You could just put the plain mock-up in a Facebook ad. So it's really up to you, but I just wanted to mention that because you can always pre-sell physical products as an alternative to a digital product when you don't have the money and time to develop a physical product. So we're gonna get right into setting up DNS, Shopify themes, the apps that you need, which there's not many. I don't even know any off the top of my head that you need for sure, but there are a few that really help with marketing and will increase your sales by a long distance. And then on top of that, most of it is just social media setup, ads, campaigns, and a few other little things. So, all right, whores, we're about to talk about the basics of setting up a Shopify store, so an online store. Shopify is by far the best. It's the easiest to set up, easiest to maintain, the easiest to use, and the best out of everything for e-commerce. Don't use Squarespace, don't use, I don't know what other ones are out there, but it doesn't matter. So the first thing you're gonna do is go to a domain name provider. This can be Namecheap, GoDaddy, Domain.com, whatever you choose. I just use Namecheap because I've used them forever, and all of my domains are currently with Namecheap. So you're gonna search for the name that you want to use. I already went over branding a business name, so you can check that out in the notes in one of the first videos. But you're gonna search for your business name and then .com. You can get the other ones, but you want to get .com if you can. I would almost change your business name to get the domain with a .com TLD because it builds a lot of trust for customers. You know, if you have something else like .org, people trust your website and your domain a lot less. So go with .com if you can. Go to shopify.com, click start a free trial in the top right. Sign up, create your store, enter your store name, enter all your personal details, whatever it asks for. Set up your store. All right, welcome to Galactic Vacuum. This is a sample store that I started. It was kind of an idea for something that I was trying, but it's just kind of a store. So the first thing you're going to do is go to settings in the bottom left. You're just going to go through each of these settings, configure everything, like go from top to bottom at every category. So that means going to payouts and setting up your bank account so you can get paid, going to store details and setting up your store so that people know what you're selling and so that you can qualify for payments through Shopify payments. Things like emails, domains, all that stuff is set up here. So I just go through pretty much every setting you can. If you don't know what to configure for something, I would just create a note somewhere saying, hey, I still need to set up shipping zones because I don't know how to do that. And then you can come back to it later, right? Once you set up your settings, go to themes or go to online store on the left and then go to themes. So your theme is what your store looks like. Your settings is configuring everything about your store. Themes is the customization and appearance of your store. So you can select, there's a few free themes. You can explore the free themes, or you can go to their theme store and purchase a paid theme. Just a heads up, they're kind of expensive. So like usually anywhere from $150 to $300 US. But just a little bit of advice for those of you that are new to this. The only really valid themes would be Dawn, which is the default theme. It's a Shopify 2.0 theme, so they're a lot faster. Then Sense is my second recommended one. It's a great starting point. And then Taste. Something that you might not realize is that Taste and Sense are actually the exact same theme, but they're just configured differently. So as you can see, this one has rounded corners with drop shadows to highlight each of the elements. So each of the cards has a drop shadow and rounded corners and gradients. This can all be configured from within the theme editor, whereas Taste instead uses borders and straight corners. So we're just going to open one of these themes. Actually, are we? Hold up. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what the current theme that I'm using looks like. It's the default one. It's really all you need, but it's very simple and plain. So once you go to customize, you're going to see this editor. Everything here on the left, where you can see announcement bar, headers, image banners, these are all the elements on the page listed from top to bottom. So you're going to go through these. Actually, I wouldn't recommend doing this first, but at least you know what this is now. These are, what are they called officially? Sections. And these are your sections. And then right here, I mean, honestly, I don't care if you guys see this design, this store, because it's probably going to be taken down pretty soon, but you get the point. These are all the sections. I think it's sort of a visual editor. You can click on stuff, but I never use it. I just do the settings here. You can rearrange them by dragging. You can see this little thing. Super self-explanatory, but the place that I would start is going to theme settings. This is all the visual settings for your store, like typography, so that's your fonts, your color settings. You can dynamically link these to your brand colors by going to here, clicking primary color 1, primary color 2. You can set up these universal brand colors in your store settings. So these are all your colors. Obviously, I would do kind of the exact same thing. Go to your theme settings. How do I get out of these colors? Oh, I can see. I gotta close this. I go through each of these drawers, I guess they're called, drop downs, and just configure it how you like. It's very preferential. Just pick what you like the most. Change the designs of your cards, the image padding, So you'll see real-time changes. Like you can see it just added padding to my images. Then once you do these theme settings, then I would go back to sections and you customize each of these sections. Like you get a featured collection here. You can remove that, you can add more by adding a block or a section. Once you do that, obviously you're gonna start on the home page. You can see there's a drop down here. This selects which page that you're editing. So once you finish with the home page, doing both of those, typically these theme settings, actually in all cases, these theme settings carry across all the pages. So you only need to edit these theme settings once, but for the sections, each of these pages here will have a different layout, obviously. So for each of these pages, you're gonna go to the page. You're gonna see you're gonna get a bit of a, you guys like my design? You're gonna get a bit of a different layout, right? You can move these around, you can do whatever you want, you can add more, you can click on them and customize them like this. So you got some customization. Okay, so this is pretty much all you need to know for the theme. Do your theme settings, then go through each of the pages and customize the layout by going to sections. Then remember to save periodically because this isn't auto-save. This doesn't have This doesn't have auto-save. So if you exit without saving your stuff, you will lose your progress. So make sure that you save your layout by clicking save like this. You can also test different layouts by clicking this icon and going to mobile or desktop or full screen. I don't know why they have full screen. Oh, it's to get rid of the customization settings, but you get the point. The next thing I would do, and you can do this from the main theme page in your store admin as well, but go to the three dots, click edit languages. You're gonna get to this page. Once it loads, you're gonna go to the search bar at the top. Come on now. Go to filter items and search power. So you're gonna see this powered by Shopify thing comes up. This is a label at the bottom of your store that says powered by Shopify. It's just kind of a little thing that people do to get rid of it because who wants to have powered by Shopify in their store? So what you're gonna do here is just add a space bar, or a space, I should say. Press the space bar. That's gonna get rid of the default powered by Shopify and it'll make it disappear essentially. Make sure you save that. Yeah, I guess it took us back to the theme page. But then once I do settings, or like initially I'll do settings, I'll go to themes, I'll customize the theme, go through everything I just talked about, then essentially just go through each of these tabs and customize everything to your liking. So if you want to add a page, I'm not sure if stores usually they don't usually come with a contact page, so you're going to add a page. There will be like a template for a contact page. You're going to select that template. Actually, I probably just knew it now, to be honest. Theme template, contact. This is going to be like contact 2, so I'll just put C2 just to demonstrate what it'll look like and how to create the page. Go to view page. Now this is a default template. You can add text above this by entering on the page customization, I believe. But this is a basic template for your contact page. So you can add custom pages, do whatever you want. I believe you can add custom HTML by clicking this, entering your code. Blog posts, unless you're a really large company and you have way too much time on your hands, nobody's going to use blog posts, so I just skip this. Navigation is kind of important because this is your menus, so I typically create a main menu. I change it from nav bar to main, or navigation to main, and then I add all the things that I want to show in my nav bar on my main store. And then you can also add a footer menu or multiple footer menus that you can put in your footer. You can customize this also in your theme, obviously. So if you have multiple if you have multiple menus, they're not going to automatically appear in your theme. They're only going to be there if you add them, kind of thing. So you create them here and then configure how they look in your theme settings. Then preferences, you're going to set the name of your homepage. So this is just for like SEO purposes and how your domain and webpage will be listed on Google and search engines. Facebook pixel, you don't need to worry about unless you're setting up Facebook ads. I try to stay away from Facebook. I'm a big TikTok guy now because Facebook is getting super expensive with their ads, and they're super strict when it comes to ad accounts. So it's just easier to avoid issues by going through TikTok. Plus, nobody likes Facebook, so. Customer privacy. We don't really care about privacy, to be honest. I'm just going to collect as much data as I can. This is not advice by any means, but password protection, this is going to come by default with your store. You want to uncheck this box to remove the password protection when you're ready to open your store, or you can keep password on there, change the password, whatever you want. So, and the last thing for the store, once you have all that set up, is obviously to add products. So you can either add products manually, which I don't do very often unless it's a manually fulfilled product, but usually my products are added through a third-party app, which you can find on the App Store here. So Printify is a print-on-demand provider that prints, you upload your designs, and when somebody orders, it directly ships. It sends the order to a fulfillment center where they print your design on a t-shirt and then basically drop ship it. So they ship it directly to the customer. So essentially, I go on this app. I'll open it just for context. Love slow internet, but it is what it is. You're going to find a product that you like. You're going to select it, customize it. Then you're going to add your design, whatever it is, text, image, whatever you upload. Then you're going to import it. A lot of kind of steps there, so I'm not going to go through that. You can do a little bit of research. And then that's going to automatically add this product to your store. And when somebody orders this product, your app is automatically going to, like I said, it's going to send the design to the fulfillment center. They're going to print the shirt, then they're going to ship it directly to the customer. So that's how print on demand works, which is like drop shipping, but essentially drop shipping products with your own designs. The only downside to print on demand in comparison to like normal drop shipping, finding products on Alibaba and talking with suppliers directly, is this is such a popular method for creators to get started and for people that don't want to put in a lot of work with suppliers, that their prices are extremely high. And this goes for all the apps on the App Store that are doing print on demand. So that's Printify, Printful, and every other one. They mark their shirts up so much that it costs a minimum of $15 just for the cost of the shirt, right? So let's say you mark that up to $20, you're making, or $25, you're making $10 on a shirt that you're selling for $25. Your profit margins are like less than 50%. You got to factor in ads, you got to factor in everything else. So print on demand is great for people to get started and a easy way to get into e-commerce, but it's not the most profitable. If you do custom products and you look on Alibaba and you find a product that you like, you can get things for under $1 in bulk, obviously. So you order 1,000 wristbands, for example, you're going to get those for around $1 a piece, and then you can sell them for like $20. So your profit margins are much higher when you do things manually, but it does take a lot more work. So quick look at the Shopify App Store. So you click on apps. I'm trying to look through my phone here, so I'm having a bit of trouble, to be honest. Maybe this is where you go to add apps. They change all this, so I'm just trying to figure it out. Customize your store. I think that's where you got to go. No, this is going to the theme. I lied. This is actually the app store, so that's where you gotta go. You gotta go to customize your store. A bunch of recommended apps here. You can search for whatever you want. Review apps, marketing apps, SMS, email campaigns, whatever you need. It's all here pretty much. So tons of stuff on the Shopify App Store. Once all that is set up, let me go back to dashboard just because we're pretty much done with the store. Once everything is set up, your store is pretty much ready to purchase. You can create some test orders by turning test orders on in payment settings. But actually, that's probably a really good idea. Definitely test your store, but it should be ready to sell now. So now that you have a channel for people to purchase products through, you just need to market it and get it to your customers. So create a TikTok, create an Instagram, whatever you want. Brand it, add your branding, add your logos, your profile pictures. Or if it's a personal brand, add your link in your bio, promote it in videos. You gotta tell people about it. So that's pretty much all there is to setting up a Shopify store. Once you have the store set up and people can buy, it's just a matter of marketing and promoting your store to a personal audience or advertising. We'll get into like advertising campaigns, like TikTok campaign setup, all that kind of stuff down the road when I actually do it myself. But that was just kind of like a quick overview of how to get to the point where I'm at, because I already set up my store. So yeah, set up your store, set up social media if it's not going to be a personal brand and you're creating a brand new account.